Hello out there. It's William here from Allegory Gallery, and I'm in my home office today. Yay. I've spent the day at home. Um, I'll wait for a few more people to come in. If you're here, please say hello. Please let me know where you're coming from, or tuning in from, I should say. So I hope you're all doing well out there. Today has been a busy day for me, even though I'm working from home today. We closed the store today, and it kind of worked out in a way that was kind of good. I woke up today and got a few things done, and I was doing some things, and I'm like, boy, wouldn't it be nice if I could just stay home today and do some things around the house and get some things done that I want to do around here. And so I got all dressed and ready for work today. Went to, I had my coat on, I had my bag, and I looked for my keys, and my keys were gone. My keys were gone. And I said, what in the world? Where did they go? Because I usually only put my keys in like 3 different places. And if I put it outside of those 3 different places, they're lost. So I try to keep them in 3 different places, and I looked at all those places. So luckily I have tracking on my keys because I use Apple AirTags on my keys, and we have them on all of our keys so that we don't lose track of them. So I checked the AirTag tracking, and it said it was in Johnstown, and I said, that's weird. But I was like, okay, I better check with Andrew to see if he grabbed my keys. Otherwise, they might be like dangling or lost in the car, or I was like, why are my keys? So he said he accidentally did grab them with his bag this morning. So I had no keys to drive today. I had no keys to open the store today. I did check with our friend Jen because she lives close, our teacher, and she said she was in the town over. She was working. She does the grocery shopping and the Instacart and all that for people. And she's like, I'm in between orders. I can run over there real quick if you want. And at that point, I had already decided, I'm like, this was meant to be, because I was thinking earlier in the day, I'm like, if I could just stay home and get things done. And this was like telling me, stay home, get things done. So that's what I did today. I've been in my office here most of the day working on things. And, some things when you're at the store, it's been very slow. That was another thing. We haven't had a customer or even a person walk in the store, I think, in about 5 days now. So with everything that slow, even though it's slow, when I'm at the store, I have to be consciously aware of what I do. I can't get into anything too in depth because somebody could walk in. And so that's always one of those things. I'm always kind of thinking, what if somebody walks in? I can't be working on something too deeply, or, I can never get in that flow state because you never know when somebody might walk in and you have to get up and talk to people and help people. And I love doing that part of the job too, but it's totally doesn't work with getting in deep. So today I was able to go through some spreadsheets that I needed to do and look over some bills that I needed to pay, and just some of that stuff that hasn't been organized in a few weeks. And I just finally got through everything, sorted everything out, and got through a lot of my list today. That's been, the list that's in your brain, but it never gets put down on paper anywhere or on your to-do list or anything like that anywhere. That's the list that I got to expel today from my brain. So that was, for me, a very good thing, because if you have anxiety, you may know there's probably always things in your brain, and sometimes you get to them and sometimes you don't. And if you don't, those are the things that wake you up in the middle of the night thinking, oh, I didn't do that yet. I got to do that. And then you wake up in the morning and you're like, what was that I was going to do? And then you go back to sleep and you wake up again. I need to do that. So that's my life. And thankfully today it worked out. It was a happy accident, as Barbara says here. Hello, Barbara, by the way. That it just happened to work out, that I did not have to leave the house today. And so me and the cats hung out together. We went outside a few times to take the cats out. But other than that, been in the house doing work, getting a lot of stuff done. So let me see who's here. Let me see who's here. Marianne is with us. Hello, Marianne. She said, ready for a good chat. Yes, let's chat. Hello, Lennis. Thanks for tuning in. Norma is here with us. Hello, Norma. Let's see here. Barbara, again, is with us. Suzanne is here saying hello. William, Barnaby, Gilbert, and AG Beat fam. Yeah, Andrew's not here today. He's taking classes. Barbara says, happy accident. Sometimes the universe decides your day. Yes, kind of like it when it happens the way I want it to happen, right? It's always nice when the universe is on my side. It isn't always, it always is, right? We have to remember that. It always is, just we don't understand why sometimes. Let's say that. Hello, Susan. Thanks for joining in. Nancy is here, says making headspace is essential. Yes, you got to get that stuff out. Clear it out in there a little bit. Hello, Susan, my neighbor. I could wave to you if I was at my other window, right? Teresa says hello. Thank you for joining us today. So we're just here to chat today. I am not going to show you anything new. I am not going to debut anything. We're not going to go over any store stuff really today, I don't think, unless we get involved and start talking about stuff, which I will talk about a few things, but not going to show you anything new, not going to flip the camera around, I don't think, today. Everything's good. Everything's good. Amanda says, hello, everyone. I'm back. I missed all of you so much. How is everyone doing? Yeah, Amanda, hello. Welcome back. We haven't seen you in a while. We're doing okay. At least I am. Kind of. Okay. Okay as can be, right? I saw your post in the Design Challenge group. I don't know if you saw my reply to it yet, but we replied to you on April 20th about those, but I also listed the gemstones that you were asking about identifying. I wouldn't say identification and identifying in that comment as well. So you should know all of your stones now that came in your desert discoveries. Let's see here. Marion says, if you get 3 more kittens, that greeting will get very long, right? Saying hello to everybody. Hello, Georgie. Hello, Tallulah, and hello, Isabella. Right? Yeah. So it's gonna get long. And Barnaby, and Gilbert, and William, and Andrew, and Jen, if you want to say hi to Jen, and Barb, if you want to say hi to Barb. So yeah, it's been a time. It's been a time. Today's been good. I got a lot of stuff done. I feel lighter. You ever do that? You feel lighter? I've also been fasting. If you haven't seen. On William Trice things, I talked about it. I am now fasting today. So I'm going to skirt around the issue of food. Lennis is already starting to try to talk about food today. He says, my husband came home with food. I'm stuffing my face. I am not. I am fasting. Every once in a while, intermittent fast. Every once in a while, I'll take like a week, and I haven't done it in a while, but I'll take a week and I'll fast every other day. But I don't do it for very, many weeks in a row or anything like that. But this time I'm trying to fast for like 3 to 4 days. Let's say 2 to 4 days. I've completed, how many hours now? What time is it? 5:36 or something. I think 39 hours. I think 39 hours of fasting so far that I'm on, and I'm just guessing because it could be longer, but I can't remember when I stopped eating the one night because I wasn't sure I was going to do this, and then I just woke up the next day and I'm like, okay, let's do it. So I may have stopped eating at midnight. I may have had some snacks and stopped eating at 2. So I'm going from 2 a.m. So 2 a.m. to 2 a.m. this morning, 24 hours, 2 here, 36 hours, and then till 5 here. So what, 39 hours. I've been reading a lot about fasting again. I do it every once in a while. When I do fasting, it's because something came up usually on YouTube and people are starting to fast again. So for whatever happened, whatever reason, people are fasting on my YouTube thing, the dashboard that it comes up. So I said, okay, let's try this again. I've been watching a lot of things and reading a lot of things about fasting, and if you're able, and again, this is not medical advice, everyone, not nutritional advice, not life advice, not medical advice. Please, before you do anything, check, with your medical professionals. But I have read it can help. Usually it's in day 3. Usually by day 3, and this is people who do 5 to 7 day fasts. I don't think I'm going to get there because this is the first time I've done a multi-day fast. Usually, like I said, it's a 24-hour thing. So usually by hitting day 3 or 4, people with anxiety and depression tend to feel relief from that. And anyway, let me see what everyone's saying first before I get into that. Lena says, oops, enjoy your water. I know. I have my water, my sugar, lemon water, not sugar, salt, lemon water, and I have my green tea in my Maxwell House mug from my grandmother. I remember my grandmother always drank her coffee, very often anyway, out of this mug. And when they passed, this is one of the things I definitely wanted. So I got this from her house, and I drink this when I'm thinking of her, which is quite often I drink out of this mug. So I'm a little bit chilly today because it's cold here in Ligonier. So I just turned up the heat upstairs because I was getting too cold. For one, I had the windows open for the cats, which is stupid, but is good for them because they need it. But it was getting cold in here, so I turned up the heat a little bit, and I had my hot tea, which is good. Susan says, tell me about the lemon water and salt. Yes, so when you're fasting, from what I've been watching and reading, one of the things that help people stay not hungry, like help people, like their brain doesn't tell them they're hungry, is if they get enough salt. Salt, magnesium, potassium, all those electrolytes, you have to keep taking. So I'm taking some supplements while I'm doing this, which I always do anyway, but I can't take them all because on an empty stomach, some of them will burn my stomach. But I'm taking the magnesium and the salt in my drink. So salt in the lemon water, not a ton, but enough that your body needs it. So enough that also I have not been hungry. Honestly, I have not been hungry since I started this, really. And walking around the house today, we have snacks because Andrew's going to his classes. And so he's taking a little packed lunch every day. And so there are chips in the house for little snacks. There are other kinds of goodies in the house for snacks. And, it's tempting me a little bit, but I'm not actually, when I think about it, it's the temptation of just wanting to put stuff in my mouth rather than just, eating when you mindlessly eat. I mindlessly eat a lot when I'm doing work and doing things. I'll just eat little snacks, or sometimes I go and get a piece of cheese, or just things like that. And so with those things around, I'm tempted, but I'm not actually hungry. Like I don't feel the need to eat right now. So I think that the salt water is working, and the green tea is giving me a bit of caffeine, which I do take a little bit now. Every once in a while I have like a half calf mocha when I'm really worn down, but I'm still mostly caffeine free. But I'm glad that I did start on the half calf mochas because doing this fast, I wanted a little bit of caffeine just to keep me peppy in case my energy started going down too much. Let's see. Marianne got an AG package yet. Haven't opened it yet. See, I told you there are people who get their packages and don't open them right away. I told you it happens sometimes. Marie Louise, hello. Thank you for joining us. My friends took me out for lunch today. Thai food for my birthday. Well, happy birthday. That's awesome. Barbara says, make a daily habit and sleep schedule before fasting. I've tried a sleep schedule. I'm going to keep trying a sleep schedule, but it has not happened for me. But for me, I've been doing fine on this so far. And I got lots of sleep last night. I slept pretty well. I was actually too hot. I put too many blankets on last night, and even though it was cool out. So that was a little bit difficult, but mostly I slept really good. And like I said, I've not been that hungry. I've been trying to keep myself busy though, because I will eat snacks out of boredom. I will just go to the fridge and get a piece of cheese, or I'll go to the fridge and grab something and put a sandwich together or something like that. But not today. Today I'm being good. Hello, Aunt Ethel. My Aunt Ethel is here. Hello. Thanks for joining in. Good to see you here. I never have seen you watch our live before, so I'm glad you could watch it. Today, if you don't know, this is a Let's Chat day. a lot of days we show you new products. We talk to you about new things we're doing, and we'll talk a little bit about that maybe today. But there's no products being shown today. This is a day, and we call them Let's Chat Days. This is a day where we just chat with you all in the comments. You can leave your comment wherever you are. I can see all the comments. You can only see the comments from whatever video you're watching. We broadcast in about, I think this one's going in 6 different locations. So I can see all your comments though. So feel free to leave a comment and we'll chat about stuff. I'll take some leads from you all. I'll start talking about, like I did my fasting, what I'm doing, and we'll just kind of go from there and hang out together. Community is one of the most important things to us at Allegory Gallery. That's what the store has been built on. Our store is a safe space. It is about community and getting together with people and hanging out and having fun. So we try to incorporate that, the physical aspect of that, which is the community and getting together virtually here with our Let's Chat Days. So that's what you're watching if you don't know. We'll chat for however long we chat and then get tired and then we're done. So that's how it works. So yes, I'm fasting today and yesterday and maybe tomorrow. I might eat tonight. 24 hours is 24 hours is the most I've ever done. So I don't want to go too much too fast, right? So I'm probably going to fast at least until dinner time tonight, and then I'll make that decision whether or not I'm going to do more or not. The thing is, and the thing with me, and the reason I was talking about some of the health benefits to fasting. When you fast, when you don't fast, let's talk about when you don't fast. From what I'm reading, when you don't fast, you are eating and your body uses a heck of a lot of energy and time digesting food. A large portion of your body's energy goes to digestion. And whenever you're like us and you eat late into the night, and then your body spends most of your time when you're asleep digesting, your body does not get to do the things that it does naturally, like kill off old cells and get rid of old dying cells, or even they've shown possible cancer cells, and kind of cleaning up your body and then rebuilding new cells. So your body can't do that if you're eating a lot, because it can't do it maximally, I guess I'll say. Growth hormones come into play. That's usually further down in the 3 to 4 to 5 day range when you start maximizing growth hormones in your body. Insulin, a lot of times fasting is good. You have to be careful if you're diabetic and all that, of course, like I said, not medical advice. But for people who are pre-diabetic, fasting or not at all, fasting can help with your insulin and how your body treats insulin, and can help level you out a little bit more. There's a lot of good things to fasting if you are healthy. If you are not 100% healthy, talk to your doctor. I'd say talk to your doctor anyway before you do it. But there's a lot of nice things that can happen where your body isn't spending all of that energy to digest food. It goes and works on other parts of the body that maybe a lot of times it doesn't often get to work on, because we have access to food so much these days, right? When we were hunter-gatherer people, you didn't have a lot of food all the time, right? And your body got to do what it needed to do, and it had the time to do that. Now that we have access to food more often and mostly all the time, if you're lucky enough, your body is now digesting a lot and a lot and a lot and spending its energy doing that. So that's why I'm trying to fast and see. People with autoimmune issues often say that fasting for a longer period of time helps a lot of their issues. It can take out inflammation from your body, and your body can fight inflammation better if you fast. So those are some reasons I'm doing it. Let me go through the comments here and catch up. That's pretty much what this is. I'll chat a little bit, then I'll go through the comments and catch up and talk about what you're all talking about, and then we'll talk more and catch up, and that's how it goes. Marianne says, at least you have tea in it. Maxwell House coffee is only so-so. Yeah, my grandmother often had Maxwell House coffee. That's how, I think that's how she got the mugs, by buying the coffee. But that was also probably during a time when there wasn't a lot of choice. Now we have so many different coffee choices. So yeah, but I remember the Maxwell House big cans of coffee in her house. Let's see. Marion says it's 83 here today, but windy, so it doesn't seem too hot. It is 43 degrees here right now. And my mom was posting, I don't know if it happened before I woke up or if it just didn't happen here, but my mom's only a little bit away, and she was posting about snow. And Andrew drove through the snow yesterday morning. I don't know about this morning. I haven't heard from him yet about that. Suzanne says 85 here, but not too humid. That's good. Teresa says, I am fasting too. I'm on a 68 hours now. I have until 9 p.m. to complete 72 hours. I do a 3-day fast at the beginning of each month. Then I do every other day intermittent fasting for the rest of the month. Whoops. Sorry. Comments sometimes jump on my end, so I got to jump back. Teresa, that's one thing I think I asked you in the group, or in the William Trives Things page. Do you, when you do your every other day intermittent fasting, do you do a reduced calorie day, or do you do a full non-eating day? Because that's what I'm reading too. There are people who do every other day fasting, but a lot of the time, from what I've been reading, they do like 500 calorie days. And then on the days you eat, you can eat as much as you want. And then the days you fast, you take in 500 or less calories. And I guess that was a program that was developed by a doctor. But also, I know there are mentions of people who do a full fast every other day. And I was just wondering what you do and how that works for you, because I've been thinking about doing more fasting more often. Amanda says, it's 45 degrees here, cold and damp, rain off and on. Here, I can actually show you the comments. There we go. Norma says, we've been chilly with a cold wind all day. It just finally got up to 60. Nice and sunny, though. That's nice. Let's see here. 55 in Long Island. Rain again tonight. It's raining like crazy here. Today, it's not been too bad, actually. It's not been too bad. Susan says, hello, William, Andrew, Kitties, Marianne, Norma, Barbara, Suzanne, Amanda, Teresa, and anyone else I missed. Hello, hello. Oh, let's see here. Oh, Susan says, finally made it. Working on a bracelet and necklace. Need to attach some charms and clasps, which I'll do. Post, let's chat. Nice. Awesome. I'm glad you're working on things. I like to see what you're all working on. Jen and I filmed yesterday. She was available last night, and we filmed for the tutorial this coming Saturday morning. So if you don't know, we release a Saturday morning tutorial pretty much every Saturday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, unless something goes wrong, which it did once in the 10 times we've posted. But if you liked last week's, she kind of expands on that and she makes a pendant out of it and a necklace. So if you like last week's one, this one's going to be similar, but a little bit different. And it's going to be a pendant on a necklace this time. So hopefully you'll like that too. This last one was very well viewed. So I'm glad. Thank you so much for all that, for tuning in and watching those and giving comments and thumbs ups and subscribing. We got some subscribers too, which is great. And that's only on YouTube, y'all. So if you're watching this on Facebook, our Saturday morning tutorials only happen on YouTube. If you'd like to see them, you have to go over to the YouTube channel. The nice thing about YouTube is I don't even think you need to make an account. You can go to youtube.com and watch stuff without an account, or maybe just using your email. But it's easy. We upload those in 4K quality. So if you want to watch those on your big screen, it makes it a lot easier to watch it on your TV with better resolution. So yeah, so hopefully you like those. And we got a good one coming this weekend. Let's see here. My Ethel says, when you say fast, is it no food? What are you drinking? Yes, it is absolutely no food. So I'm not taking in any food. Some people fast, like I said, with a reduced caloric diet. Mine right now is absolutely no food. So I am drinking lemon water. It's water with a little bit of lemon in it, or lemon juice, and salt for the to keep your body. Your body needs salt. So when you're not eating, you're not getting any salt. So salt in the water. I take also magnesium pills to help as much as I can handle. Sometimes they make my stomach sick. And I'm drinking green tea, hot tea. So something hot for the cold weather. And then something I can drink much faster, my salt lemon water. It sounds disgusting, but it's not bad. It's actually not bad. Marianne says, yeah, we had big cans of Nabob coffee in my parents' house. I don't know that brand at all. Is that a Canadian thing? I don't know. So Teresa does full no food on your every other day. I've been thinking about doing that. I don't know. I don't know if I can get myself into the regimen and be disciplined enough, but that's cool to know that you're doing that. Amanda, also Canadian, remembers Nabob. Is it still around? I don't know that one at all. Hello, Cindy says hello from sunny and warm Miami, Florida. Nice. Cindy liked and shared. Yes, please hit the thumbs up on this video. Wherever you're watching it, hit the like on Facebook, hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Please hit the share button. If you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube yet, please do so. Last month, at the end of the month, there was one day, and I think it was April 24th. I don't know why, but normally our videos are viewed mostly by subscribers, right? So y'all doing a good thing, subscribing and watching. One day last month, it shot up that we got a ton of views from people who were not subscribers, and I don't know why. So if you're one of them, please hit the subscribe button if you like what we do. Hopefully you like what we do. If you watch us often, you do, right? So hit that subscribe button. Lena says, I feel better with frequent small meals rather than snake eating a large meal. Yeah, I tried that. I try to eat small meals. It just I snack, I guess. It's not quite a meal, but I'll have a little snack here and there. But I do much better, and I always have. I've always felt much better. And naturally, I just fall into a rhythm of eating generally one large meal a day. Sometimes I'll have a little bit for lunch. If I go to the coffee shop, I usually have a bagel and cream cheese or a bagel with egg and cheese and a coffee. But mostly I eat only once, like after 8 o'clock, which is probably terrible. But I guess I'm fasting almost every day. If I don't eat lunch, I'm pretty much fasting every day from 8 o'clock, well, probably midnight or so till 8 o'clock. So maybe I'm just naturally used to it. This is why I'm not that hungry. I'm just naturally kind of used to not eating for longer periods of time. But yeah, small meals drive me crazy. I'm like, oh, I need to eat. I need to eat. I need to eat. I just eat one large meal. But it's good. They say that if you can eat many small meals, it's better for a lot of people. Some people function better on, eating a big lunch. Like the lunch should be the hugest meal of the day. Some people believe in skipping breakfast. I'm one of those people. I've never been able to eat when I wake up. My dad is the same way. Maybe my Aunt Ethel is. I don't know. She's watching. She can let us know. I've never been able to eat breakfast like as soon as I get up. I have to wait at least 2 or 3 hours, usually after getting up, before I can eat. Otherwise, I get nauseous. I feel very sick. Like I could just throw my breakfast back up. So I have to wait until after I'm up for a while. And some people are like that. Some people say to skip breakfast altogether and just have a really big lunch and a small dinner, and that's the best way to eat. There's a lot of ways out there, right? Hello, Susie. Thanks for tuning in. Susie, it was you that was starting a new job. Am I right? How did that go? We didn't get to check in with you yesterday because Andrew is at his class and it doesn't end until after 5, so he couldn't do the live. I hope it was Susie. I hope I didn't get that wrong. My memory, not the greatest. Teresa says, I drink my lemon water with salt and tea. See? Nice. That's awesome. Marianne uses whole beans, kicking horse brand, and grinds enough for 2 to 3 days. Yeah, we have a grinder, but it scares the crap out of the cats. Well, it used to. Paolo and Babette scared them. They go running through the house. The younger ones, not so much, but I don't drink coffee at home. I just don't. I never have. If I don't drink coffee when I'm out at work or out and about, I don't drink coffee. And I've always been that way. I've never been a person to brew a pot of coffee in the morning or in the evening or anything. If it's available, if somebody's, if I had roommates and they were making it, maybe. But like Andrew, he brews coffee all day and all night because he's up at all the hours. But I don't drink it here at home. Even before I went no caffeine. Let's see here. Let's see. Oops. I'm like hearing water noise. I'm like, what is that? And it's like, I think I need to bleed the radiators because I can hear the water noise. Susan says, my maternal grandfather had a big mustache coffee mug. Nice. My grandfather, I think I have one of his coffee mugs. He used to drink out of a very particular kind of mug too, a lot of times. At least that's what I remember. The things you remember, maybe he didn't, but when we were growing up as kids and we would stay over at the house, there was a very specific kind of coffee mug and the handles were always so small on them. But that's what I remember him drinking out of. And I think I grabbed one of those too. Amanda says, my husband grinds the coffee beans right before brewing, helps me get up in the morning. Yeah, Andrew was sleeping in the afternoons / evenings like he normally does, and then he gets up at night. And at one point, I was trying to let him sleep partially through the night, and I was waiting till late, and then I would start brewing coffee for him so he'd have it in the morning, and it kept waking him up. So I have to be careful when I brew the coffee because he could like the bedroom on the bedroom's on another floor. He has the door closed. Somehow he still smells that coffee and it wakes him up. Susan has to cut out for hairball duty. Yuck, I'll be back though. Barbara says, when you regulate your daily routine, it 100% dictates your day. Yeah, that's what a routine is, right? Definitely. But it's just hard we do so much and so much pops up all the time. When you're running your own business, when you have cats or animals, when you have another business you're trying to start, especially starting another business, that's hard to put into a routine. But I've never been a person to have a routine, and I want one, but it's very hard for me to be disciplined enough because I grew up with mostly no routine. I was academically fairly gifted, so I didn't have like a homework time. I just did my homework real quick whenever I could fit it in, and I go back to playing video games or whatever. And so things like that, it was very, as a kid, I didn't need to set a routine. Like some kids, they have to, eat at a certain time and they do their homework and then they get ready for bed. I grew up with a family of night owls, so we never had a bedtime. My brother and I never really had a bedtime. Your bedtime was determined by, can you wake up in the morning? And if you can't, then you better go to bed earlier the next night. That's how it was. And so we would stay out and play until dark, and then we come in and do some homework, or else I do my homework on the bus or in homeroom in the morning. So for me, I never had that structure like that. And that's kind of how I am. I'm loosey-goosey out here, but I would like to start to have more of an evening and morning routine. I don't need a routine necessarily for my whole day, but we were talking a little bit in the past to a business consultant that we had, and they were talking about block scheduling and how it might work. And I need to work that in. I need to work that in. So routine will dictate your day. Not having a routine, I don't know the difference yet, but we'll see how the difference between not having one and having one, maybe if I get one, how it dictates and what the differences are. Hello, Sandra. Thank you for joining in. Teresa says, grinds the coffee beans right before I brew it for my husband. Nice. That's nice. Susan's back from hairball duty, right? And my other says, is it good and how much salt per glass? So you're supposed to have 4 grams of salt if you're exercising, for most people, most adults, 4 grams of salt if you're exercising while you fast. And I am doing a little bit of exercising. That's mostly if you're sweating and you're pushing out salt. If you're just fasting and you're not exercising, it's 2 grams, which I think they say is between 1.5 and 2 teaspoons of salt in a day. So I just take the salt grinder and I grind a little bit in my glass, and I drink enough water that I'm grinding a lot often. And that's what I do. That's what I've been doing. And if I feel myself starting to get hungry, which I really haven't too much, but if I do, which, a little tinge of hunger, then I just take some more salt, put it in, drink some water. And it's been working so far. Like I said, more of my desire to eat is from just, not necessarily boredom, because I haven't been bored all day, but that just normally I eat like I said, I eat weird things. Like if I want potato chips, if I see them, I eat them. So that's the thing. I've been going in the fridge for the lemon juice, and there's cheese in the fridge. Like I just grab a piece of cheese and we'll eat it when I'm on a normal day. Or we have potato chips on the counter, like little snack packs of Pringles we have on the counter, and for Andrew to take, and I see them and I want them. I will tell you that. So that's kind of what it is. Let's see here. Marion says, pretty sure Nabob only available in Canada. Yeah, I've never heard of that. Trader Joe's coffee is pretty good, says Susan. Yeah. Trader Joe's stuff is generally good. Teresa says, the fasting really helps my autoimmune diseases. That's another thing. I've definitely been interested to see if it helps, because I have a lot of autoimmune stuff. 1, I had vitiligo. 2, I have thyroid problems. I have a little bit of psoriasis or eczema, and I'm waiting to see if that helps to clear some of that up. It's not going to clear up the vitiligo or the thyroid, but the eczema, and just my whole family is full of autoimmune stuff, and I don't want to get any more. So I'm hoping that this will help. And Teresa, that's great to know that it's helping you. Barbara says, William, do you know what switchel is? It's a Western PA thing. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Never heard of switchel. Sandra says, whatever you did in the day, rinse and repeat to get viewers. I know, but it wasn't even we didn't release a tutorial. We probably did a live, if it was a live day. I can't remember what day it actually fell on, but there was nothing. There was nothing. I went back through the records. I tried to figure out what it might have been, but we got like over, I think it was 1,300 people watching in one day for no reason. I don't know why. And then it dropped, just like it was the day before. It went up and then dropped back down. But I will say most of those people did not subscribe. So I don't know what kind of thing happened, whether YouTube started showing our stuff more often or what, but whatever happened, most of them didn't subscribe, unfortunately. I wish they did. But if they would have been a lot of subscribers that day, I would have been researching hard and in depth to see what we did that day. But because most of them didn't subscribe, I'm like, it must have just been a fluke. Could have been a fluke in the reporting too. That I don't think that happens often, but could have been. Susan says, Caldi's is a popular local coffee here. Pete's is good too. Sometimes I get Pete's for Andrew. Hello, Harry. Thanks for tuning in. Susan says, I exercise, then have coffee number 1 before breakfast. Yeah, and a lot of people, a lot of the big time people I'm watching, who have the big names on YouTube, are saying that you should delay your caffeine by about 90 minutes in the morning. So when you wake up, you should wait at least 90 to 120 minutes, so an hour and a half to 2 hours before you have any caffeine. That's supposed to be good for you. I don't know, but that's what they're all saying. That's what a lot of people are saying. So that's good. You exercise first and then you have your coffee. Lena says, me too. I can't eat breakfast at the crack of dawn. I can't eat breakfast if it's noon. If I wake up at noon, I am not going to have breakfast. I'm not going to have any food probably till at least 1 or 2. My Ethel, I cannot eat when I wake up. I get sick. See, it runs in my family, y'all. My dad can't do it. I can't do it. My Aunt Ethel apparently can't do it. It's one of those things. I don't know why, but I know I have to be up at least an hour or 2 before I can eat and not feel nauseous from eating. Let's see. Oops. Comments jumped. Let me jump back here. Hopefully I'm not too far behind. I am pretty far behind. I got to speed up a little bit. course, y'all are mostly talking to each other, so that's good too. Marianne says, my coffee is usually done by 10 a.m. You get up very early, though. You have like 4 or whatever. So being done by 10, it's like a whole day's worth already. Harry grinds and brews just before breakfast and only one mug of coffee. Nice. Let's see. Norma says, I have to drink coffee and stare for a while to wake up in the morning, right? I get it. I would love to stare for a while. Usually I get up and it's like a sprint because I am one of those people, if I can, like, that's why I want a morning routine, because if I have time in the morning, I don't know what to do with it. Like, I have time and it makes me a little bit anxious because I'm constantly thinking about, okay, what time is it? Oh, got it. Do I got to leave yet? Oh, got it. Do I have to leave that? That's like my whole morning is just constantly looking at the clock. I can't settle myself down. So if I could get an actual morning routine where I knew I had this amount of time and I got used to that amount of time to the point where I kind of could judge it. You know how you can judge things after a while, you do them long enough, then it might be better. But I'm one of those people, I hit the road running and just get ready, do whatever I need to do to get out of the house and then leave the house. That's my morning, which I wish I could sit and stare for a while. That'd be nice. Norma says, also, although waking up is easier now that I don't have to get up for work. Yes, right? Susan says, best smells, coffee and bacon. They are 2 very good smells. They are 2 very good smells. Suzanne says, I have no idea how I got up so early to go to work. I'm glad I don't have to, y'all. I'm very privileged and I know it. Let's see. Cindy says, oh, they're talking to Harry. And Ethel says, same with the no routine, right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think my family has ever had much of a routine. Other than, you have to go get up and go to work. But after that or before that, it's kind of like my morning is like a sprint to go to work. I get ready in about 15 minutes in the morning. It takes me about 15 minutes to get up, get out of bed, feed the cats. I usually shower in the evenings, so I don't have to do that in the morning. I, brush my teeth, take my vitamins and my pills, my medication, and I gather my things for the store, and then I leave. Now, it's usually a little bit longer than that because I take the cats out for a walk, usually most mornings, at least onto the porch, and we sit around for a little bit. And sometimes I answer emails or do some Facebook checking messages and stuff. Not Facebook messages, comments. I don't use Facebook Messenger, at least very often. But yeah, it's like a sprint. Like, I wake up, I'm just at it, 100% go, go, go until I'm at work. And then, of course, I'm working. But and my evenings are like, I do what I need to do for work. That's mostly most of my evenings is figuring out what I need to do for work. Routines would be good, maybe. It's hard, though. Lionel says that was our structure. Yeah, there's no structure, right? That's pretty much it. You stay up till you're tired. If you're too tired in the morning, you better get to bed earlier the night before. Get up and go to school. It's one of those things. Barbara says you should dictate your own schedule, but try it. Yeah, I've tried a number of times to get a sleep schedule going, and the exercise schedule is okay. I've not been keeping up 100%, but I'm exercising at least generally 3 out of the 7 days of the week now. I was doing 5 out of 7, and that was a little bit much for my work schedule and my life schedule. So I'm trying to at least get 3 days in. And I can get more in when it's nicer out and I can go running, because running breaks up I use resistance bands and weightlifting and that kind of thing. So that's kind of boring for me to do 5 days a week. So if I can go out and run, which I have not been able to do because it's been too cold and rainy, I can get more exercise in. Anyway, yeah. But I was trying to start the night routine. That's what it all came from. I was trying to start an evening routine with my exercising, but I had to give that up. Actually, I was trying to start a morning routine. I was trying to get up earlier. Did not work. So I'm going to keep doing the exercise, maybe keep doing the fasting, intermittent fasting, at least every once in a while, a few times a month, and then I'm going to try and get a routine. I probably should start with a night routine though, because that'd be easier than starting a morning routine. Harry says, as a kid, I had to get up at 5:30 to milk 7 cows before breakfast by hand. I've never had to milk a cow, so I don't know what goes into all that, but that's too early for me. That's too early for me. Susan says, I function better with a non-rigid routine. I don't know if I do, because that's all I've had all my life. So I don't know if a rigid routine would actually, it might actually help me get more done or feel less discombobulated a lot of the time. I don't know, but I have not been able to try it yet because I'm not disciplined enough for that yet. I'm working my way to being more disciplined nowadays. Barbara says, split your day into quadrants. I should. I wish it's just hard with your own business. Like, it's so hard when you get like that email that somebody's like so worried about something, or they didn't get something, or they're wondering what's going on with something. And it's so hard when you check, you're opening your phone and the little notification says you got an email from somebody important. And you're like, okay, it's 9 p.m. This should be my wind down time, but I don't want this person to have to wait all night long for an answer. So I answer the email. And then you get into your work. And then once you answer one email, you start looking at all your others. And then it would be nice to be able to, split my day a little easier, but it's not always easy. But it's a good thing to shoot for. It's a good thing to shoot for. Ethel says, not having a routine dictates your life. It can do that too, right? Sometimes you run around like a crazy person because you don't have the discipline to sit down and say, I need to do this right now. You're just like, I'll do it when I get to it. And then it's always in your head running around. Oh, let's see here. Amanda says, I had no problem getting up at 6 a.m. on our holidays, but back at home, 7 to 7:30, right? Something about holiday time just makes it doesn't matter what time it is anymore. Marian says, did you know consuming a pound of salt will kill you? Just an off the wall remark. Luckily, I'm not doing a pound of salt, but I did not know that. But I assumed once you got into that kind of quantity of salt, it probably would not be great for you. That's why you don't drink salt water out of the ocean, right? So it's nabob. Nabob, it's pronounced. Nice. Susan says, I hated going to bed at 9 p.m. Now I get up at 6 a.m., go to bed by 11. I do my mid-morning naps, though. Yeah, if you can nap, that's great, right? I've never been good at naps. I mean, I've been very good at naps, but I've never been good at short naps. My naps have to be 2 to 3 hours long, or I wake up grumpy. So I don't know. I would love to take naps, but if I take a nap, it ends up eating into my whole day. But I've also wanted to try that thing where, some famous people are famous for their naps, where they nap a lot of the day and then they stay up and then they nap. They never really have a sleep. They never really go to bed to sleep. For me, I don't think that would work though. I like my long, restful sleep. 9 hours, 10 hours, that's a good night's rest. Lena says, my grandfather drank a glass of water with cider vinegar in it every day. It's supposed to be very good for you. It's like apple cider vinegar. Yeah. I used to do more of that. I don't know why I got out of it. But yeah, it's supposed to be very good for you. Teresa says, I started fasting when I left the nursing home. I also work out at least 4 days a week. Good, good. Let's see here. Let me see. Oops, sorry, skipping. Sanders says, what was the conversation topic? We're just talking about what I'm doing and what everybody else wants to talk about. I'll say what everyone else is talking about. But I'm fasting, so we're talking about fasting a little bit. We're talking about routines and what your routine is for your day, and if you have a routine or don't have a routine, how easy it is for you to wake up, all that kind of stuff. It's just a let's chat day. We chat, we riff off whatever people say or whatever I say if no one says anything. Harry says, I work out for 40 minutes each morning at 11. That's good. I'm trying to get 30 minutes at least. On my running, I usually run much longer than that. I usually run for 40 to 60 minutes. I try to get like 2 to 3 miles in when I go running. And I'm trying to work on reducing my, time per mile. But yeah, that's good. 40 minutes, that's a good bit. I'd like to have more equipment like you have. I think I would like a treadmill. I'm starting to get to that point. I'm like, maybe I would actually use it because I'm enjoying running, but on days, like I get a little bit antsy when I can't go out and run when it's this cold and rainy and wet. So maybe it would be good. Cindy says, oh no, William, I would be a monster if I did that. I have to have mine the minute I get up. I'm guessing coffee or caffeine. Yeah, I don't know. Some people say you should delay your caffeine 90 to 120 minutes to keep your circadian rhythm. It's mostly for your circadian rhythm, to keep it working. You should get up. The first thing you should do after you get up is drink water and then go outside to catch the daylight, because they say that getting the daylight in the morning time helps to reset your circadian clock, so that if you are a night person and you want to be a morning person, you go outside and you take in the morning light. This actually started to work for me. I was trying to move back earlier and earlier, waking up, and my problem is not hitting snooze and getting out of bed. But if I got out of bed and I went outside, I found that at night I was tired by like 11 p.m. if I was doing this. But you should take in the morning, and then in the evening you should take in the sunset, like that kind of dusky kind of light. And then that way it sets your clock to say, okay, we're getting ready for bed. We're not there yet, but we're getting ready for bed soon. Lena says, I'm interested in these mushroom mix faux coffees. Has anyone tried any? Harry recommended some of those to me, I think. We have mushroom powder. Andrew puts it in his coffee sometimes, but we've not actually had it as a drink itself. The one we got wasn't meant for that, but I don't know. Has anyone tried them? Teresa says, I walk every day. I use weights and exercise bands every other day, but Sunday. Nice. Ethel says, my mornings too. I'm guessing you mean getting ready quickly and dashing out the door. That's my life. Runs in the family, I think. Suzanne says, I have coffee after my workouts. That's what they say is best, to have your coffee after you've worked out, and usually, like I said, 90 to 120 minutes into your day. Harry walks on an elliptical machine. I've never actually used an elliptical machine, I don't think, in my life. So I don't even know how that all works or what that is about. Lena says, I'm not planning on giving up coffee, but I drink low acid coffee due to digestive issues, which the mushrooms are supposed to help with. Yeah, we got mushroom powder. We were originally using it for Barnaby. It can be good even for cats, and we were mixing it in with some of his medicine that we were giving him, because it can have anti-cancer properties, and we weren't sure if he had cancer or asthma or what it was. So we were giving him that, and then we also use it now too once in a while. Marion says, summertime, coffee with breakfast, 15-minute walk, second coffee with second breakfast, and 20-minute, 2 breakfasts, and 20-minute walk around noon. Then my big meal of the day, a few snacks up until about 7 p.m. That's good. We have no regimen other than we eat generally around 8 p.m. and snack until about midnight or 2 a.m. or so. And then depends when I'm going to bed. If I'm going to bed around 2, I'll generally try to stop snacking by midnight. If I'm going to bed at like 4, which sometimes we do, then I stop around 2. I try to give myself a few hours between that, but it doesn't always happen. That's why I am trying to fast, because my body is mostly digesting most of the night, I'm sure. Now I turn the heat on in here, now I'm getting hot. My Aunt Ethel, I get ready in 15 to 20 minutes too. Yep. Says, I don't know what to do with the extra time in the mornings. That's right. Who knows what to do with that extra time? Like, I don't know how y'all do it. I do nothing but look at the clock, worrying that I'm going to be late for work. So that's my whole day. Sorry, I'm trying to take off this sweater, this extra sweater I have. Yeah, I don't know. People who give themselves time in the morning, it's crazy. Like I said, I guess you probably do it enough that you know when you have to get ready for work, if you're working still, right? Amanda says, on holiday, we work between 5 and 11 miles every day. My feet were throbbing. That's good though, right? That's always good. Oh, my mom's here. Hello. Say hi to my mom, everybody. Norma says, I need to start walking. I keep saying I'll do it tomorrow. Do it. Just do it. If it's nice, go outside and that's the way sometimes I do it. Just start. Like whether you walk around the block, whether you walk a mile, I wouldn't start out with a mile if you're not used to it, but just get yourself, for me, it's the process of making the time to do it. It's not that the thing is actually that hard. Like exercising 30 minutes, not that hard. It's a little boring for me. I'm not a big exercise person, but it's not hard. You know, I do what I can do, and then I stop, and then the next day I do what I can do, and then I stop, and I give myself little boosts once in a while. Like I try and do 20 reps, and then the next day I'll do 20 reps, and then if that's starting to feel easy, I do 25 reps. But for me, it's the making the decision to just do it. You're going to go outside, even if you walk like 10 steps, you went outside and you started doing it. So do it. Just do it, Norma. Just do it. I'm going to ask you tomorrow if you went outside today and walked. How about that? That's how I lose viewers, everybody, trying to hold people accountable. Let's see. Marianne says, I have only milked 2 cows with a machine. I've never milked a cow at all. Ethel says, they say if you schedule your day like an appointment book and stick to it, that it helps. That's what I keep hearing. That's what I keep hearing. I put in some good effort sometimes, but I need to actually just do it. I'm very bad at holding myself accountable to things. I'm like, I'll do it tomorrow. It didn't work out. I'll just do it later. Just need to do it. Julie says, I'm a night owl. Me too. Me too. And my mom, Rebecca, says there are morning people and there are night people. We fall into the latter category. Yes, we do. We are definitely night people. And you can successfully, from what I've seen, shift. Like I said, if you use the light techniques and you just force yourself out of bed one morning and you just go outside and you take in the light, inside light does not do it, y'all. It's not powerful enough. It's not strong enough to reset things like that. But maybe if you have one of those lights that's supposed to mimic the sun, but still they say the sunlight, the number of luxes between any type of indoor light and sunlight is astronomically big, or different. And so you go out and you get that light and it's supposed to help reset your circadian rhythm. It was starting to work. I was finding it easier to wake up a little bit earlier by doing that. Well, at least not wake up easier. I was finding it easier to stay awake once I was doing that. And I was getting sleepier earlier. Like it's not normal for me to be sleepy at 11 or 12 at night. It's not. That's not normal at all. And I was. So it was starting to work. I just didn't let it work. I said, I'm not getting out. I'm hitting the snooze today. And that was it. Ethel said, I wouldn't, couldn't do that. I don't know what that's about, but probably the same for me. Harry says, I have been using 2 drinks this week, Noon Brew and Moon Brew. The Noon is an herbal tea, as is the Moon, but Noon is non-caffeine, and the Moon helps me get a quiet night, quiet, deep sleep, lucid dreams as well. Huh. I don't know. I've never heard of those, I don't think. I'll have to check them out. Is that the one you sent me? I didn't think that was the one you sent me, Harry, but maybe it was. Susan says, I'm a suburban kid, never milked a cow in my life. I came from the country, but I never milked a cow either. Susan says, Noon Brew sounds interesting. Moon Brew sounds interesting, right? Oops. And the comments skipped again. Here we go. What is happening? There we go. Susie says, I need some sort of routine or I get too scattered. That's the thing, right? That's the thing. Oh, same here with the nap length and grumpiness. Yeah, I got a nap for like 2 to 3 hours or I'm just a bear. Like not fun to be around. If I nap for like an hour, especially like under an hour, 20 minutes, 40-minute nap, don't even talk to me because I will be so agitated for about an hour after waking up. Marion says, I need more sleep on days I work. Sometimes it is a nap, sometimes a mini sleep. I like a long sleep. Susan says, I'm a champion napper. Genetic trait from my dad. My hubs can't nap if it's light outside. If he does nap, it means he's not feeling well. I could go to sleep almost at any point, especially with my thyroid. I could pass out. Not real. I can't sleep in a car very well. I can't sleep on an airplane very well. But at home, if I'm home, I could probably fall asleep almost any time. But I have to schedule like 2 to 3 hours to do it, and that's not easy anymore. Lena says, sometimes while I'm doing something, I feel anxious that I should be doing something else. I can't imagine having my own business and worrying about all the things. It's not easy. Yes. That's like my whole life, doing something. Meanwhile, I'm doing this and trying to focus on this. Meanwhile, my brain is telling me, you got to jump to this thing next. This is next. This is next. It's always about the destination. The journey is covered in destinations. That's pretty much all I can say about it, or the best way to say it. But I'm working on that. I'm trying to do that. And fasting is supposed to help with your mental clarity and depression and anxiety. So we'll see. If I get through 2 days, I might eat tonight. We'll see. Maybe 3 days. That'll be tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Therese is joining in. Hello, hello. Karen's coming down to send you an email regarding classes. We just got the class schedule. I just posted the class schedule today. So what Jen told me is she will be in every Friday in May, except if she has to cancel, we'll cancel. She's not 100% sure what all is going on with her kids and everything. She has kids' baseball practices and hospital, clinical schedules for her son that was hit in an automobile accident. So we will be here mostly. I will try and make sure I'm there on the 26th if you're coming into town. I always like to make sure I'm there if people are in. But we'll see. I can't guarantee we're going to have class, but Jen said she's going to try for all Fridays in May. Norma says, I need to find an interesting place to walk. Going around my neighborhood, going around and around my neighborhood and cul-de-sac, or dead-end cul-de-sac street is not fun, and the sidewalks are bad. It's not fun, Norma, but it'll get you out there. That's what I said to myself. Like, I run around the neighborhood. It's not really fun. I run kind of the same places all the time. I would love to go on the nature trail or something and run there. Probably be a little bit better and more fun for me, but just do it. Just do it. Because I tell myself those things, and I know for me, they're excuses on why I'm not running or not walking. So just go walk. Walk your cul-de-sac. Walk it once. Be done and do the work, right? I know. I'm just saying that because that's what people tell me. And I'm not great at it either. Suzanne says, no, first thing is to care for the cats. Kind of. I do brush my teeth. I brush my teeth first because that's upstairs. And then once I go downstairs, the very first thing I do, feed the cats. My mom, Rebecca, says, do the morning outside in your bare feet too for grounding. Yeah, they say that touching the ground with your bare feet helps us as humans. It grounds us a little better. It's a grounding energy. And so usually, I don't do that, but I should. Usually I do go out, like when I take the trash out, I go out in my bare feet a lot of times if it's not freezing cold, and walk in the grass a little bit. And I try to go out once in a while and ground like that. It's nice. Susan says, after getting up, the first thing I do is make the bed. Then the feline overlords demand food and I must comply. I'm one of those people. I will be honest. I've said this before in a live. I don't make my bed. I make it once in a while. Usually the bed gets made when I wash when they're fresh linens, fresh stuff, putting it on the bed, then the bed gets made. Otherwise, and I know everyone says making the bed, it just sets your day and it's that you accomplish one thing and you can say you've accomplished it. Well, I feed the cats, I get ready for work. I have a lot that I've accomplished. I've never been a person that makes my bed. I don't understand why people feel a need to make a bed. Usually I'll tidy up the bed before I get in it at night and then I go to bed. But for some people it's their morning thing. That's what they do. And it helps set the day that you've done a thing. For me, that's just not a thing I do. I don't know. Anyone else like that? Am I the only weird one that does not make their bed and is okay with admitting it? I don't know. It feels taboo to admit that you don't make your bed, right? But I think there's a lot of people out there probably who don't make their bed every day. Um, Marianne says, coffee brewing and cat carrying at the same time for me. Nice. Harry says, yes, cats come first and then make the coffee. Now this is good idea, Beck. That's to my mom. My mom goes by Beck. Amanda says, I have 2 breakfasts too on most days. What is with the Canadians eating the 2 breakfasts? Is that a thing there? I would love to. I love breakfast food. I would eat breakfast. Now I'm starting to think about the food I really want. Like I was like, I'm not hungry. I don't even know what I'd want to eat. Now I'm thinking of French toast and waffles and eggs. Oh, I do like breakfast food. Susan says, if I'm not mistaken, pre-industrial people slept in shifts. Yes, there was the first sleep and the second sleep. I think Charles Dickens wrote about it in some of his books, if I'm not mistaken. There are some authors that do talk about the second sleep or the first sleep, usually 4 hours at a time. So if you happen to wake up, usually 4 hours after you go to bed, I do it very often. I go to bed around 2 most nights. I wake up at 6, almost on the dot, many mornings. And that's what people used to do. There used to be a first sleep and a second sleep, and in between, they'd get up and work, or do like writing in their journal, or reading, or having the fun times and making the kids in between first and second sleep. It is a thing that we don't allow ourselves to do anymore, but many people naturally will wake up about 4 hours after they fall asleep. I'm one of those people. And sometimes it's hard for me to get to sleep because I cut my 4 hours so close that if I get up for any amount of time in between, which I should just do, but if I do, I feel like I don't have enough time to sleep again 4 hours. Marianne says, my favorite line from Lord of the Rings, the importance of second breakfast. I guess I didn't catch that line. Is it in the movie? Because I've never read the book. Harry's having a giant 5-pound bone-in ribeye for supper. I have to go start the grill. My turn to cook. Nice. It's going to go long. It's 4 inches thick. Yikes. That's crazy. But have fun. See you, Harry, if you have to go now. And have a good dinner. It sounds like a good dinner. Sandra's bummed. I have to go back to work tomorrow, she says. That's always a bummer, right? I remember working regular work. I still have my Tuesday regular work and evening regular work, but going into a job every day, it was hard for me. Even though I go to the store, but now we start the store at 11. 10 was even too hard for me, so we moved it to 11. We used to do 10 to 4, and now we're doing 11 to 5, which makes it a lot easier for me. But getting up for work, hard thing to do sometimes. Teresa gets up at 5 a.m. for my daughter's school, then work on jewelry orders. Oh, that's one thing. Having kids changes your routine sometimes, right? I don't know. Getting up early for kids, and I don't know. That's not me. Maybe that's why a lot of people are morning people, because the kids have to get up. I bypassed that in my life. Amanda says, yes, I felt great with all of that walking. Yeah, your feet hurt at the end, but it's nice, right? You feel good. Let's see here. I don't hold myself accountable either, right? It's hard. It's hard to do, especially when you got a lot of stuff going on in your life. It cannot be easy to hold yourself accountable to doing things, because you do the stuff you have to do, right? You absolutely do the stuff you have to do. And trying to, break it down into, I'm going to do this now and this now between these hours and this between these hours. It's hard. It's hard. Susan says, I'm a city kid now. Taking a walk during the midday is probably okay, but not always. Out of an abundance of caution, I wouldn't take a walk in my neighborhood after dark either, though. That's hard, right? When I was in New York, I had no problem. I would walk I walked at any time when I was in New York, but we were in a pretty safe neighborhood for the most part. So in Brooklyn, I would sometimes go running and walking. Didn't matter what time. Oftentimes when I came home from work, I'd do it, or if it was a little later in the night. We had a 24-hour which I miss, a 24-hour bagel place, but they sold all different kinds of sandwiches and bagels. It was called Sunset Bagels. I don't know if they're still there. They were in Sunset Park. And I loved them, and I would walk down to them at any hour. Didn't matter. No problem to get food. But I'm sorry that it's difficult for you there, not safe. That's no good. Let's see here. Marion says, writing things down is not my cup of tea. I do have a routine at work normally. Yesterday, the routine was totally screwed due to a refrigeration shutdown. That's not good in a grocery store. Yeah, I like I don't know what you mean by writing things down, whether that's like scheduling things out or just journaling. I would love to journal more. I would love to make that into my routine, because I feel that journaling is one of the things in life that has helped me the most to control my thoughts and to get things out of my brain. But as much as it helps, if I don't make a point or a time to do it, I don't do it. And that's a shame, because it does work for me a lot. So writing things down that way is good for me. Ethel says, I force myself to fall asleep by 11:30. I don't feel as tired. Oh, if I force myself by 11:30, I don't feel as tired in the morning. I just 11:30. If I wake up earlier, that's probably doable. Otherwise, I will definitely wake up by about 4 a.m. And be wide awake. If I don't wait until after midnight or 1 o'clock to go to bed, I have a really hard time not being wide awake at like 4 or 5 in the morning. And some people get up at 4 or 5 in the morning, but after only 4 hours of sleep or so, that's not quite good for me. I need more sleep. It says if I stop moving, I could fall asleep in seconds, right? It takes me a little while to fall asleep, a little longer than that, but I can nap at any point. My mom says, you get to sleep anytime from Pat. He was a short napper. Yeah, he could go to sleep. He'd get home from work, take a nap for 20, 30 minutes, and then go out in the field and continue working and stuff. Look who's joining us today. Hi, Barn. Say hi to everybody, buddy. We've been having a good day together. Yeah, we've been having a good day together, huh? So, yeah, he could nap, but he would short nap. I can't short nap. But he would always go take a nap, get up. Sometimes he didn't even know he was napping. He'd sneak in, take a nap, get up, go back out to work. But yeah, I could nap pretty much any time, but it has to be a long nap or else I'm grumpy. Ethel says, are there foods you're avoiding when you're fasting? All of them. I don't eat. And when I fast, don't eat anything. It's a whole day or 24 hours, 36 hours, 72 hours, however long I'm fasting. I don't eat anything. I drink water with lemon and salt, and I drink green tea. Otherwise, once the fast ends, my fast will either end tonight or probably tomorrow night if I try and take it a third day. I don't know if I'm going to go for 3 days. I've never fasted more than 24 hours, and I don't want to overdo it. So I might end it tonight and eat a little bit tonight. And you should ease into eating is what I've been told. So don't stuff your face, just ease into it. But yeah, outside of that, on days that I'm not fasting, I'm not avoiding anything other than meat, which I don't eat anymore. Marianne says, bed making rarely occurs in my home. Right? I don't understand it. Sandra says, I feel so much better when I made the bed up. I love when I walk back into the bedroom and seeing the bed made. See, some people it does good. For me, it's just like an extra step that I'm like, I don't need to do this. I'm going to mess it up tonight. I guess that's the practical side of me, maybe. It's like, why do all this work to make the bed? And it's hard to make our bed. We have a small bedroom, but we have a big bed. So it's constantly like fitting in the corner and lifting. Like our mattress is probably 18 inches deep because we have one of those topped mattresses with, whatever. So it's like 18. So it's like picking up, and it's a king. So it's like picking that up to tuck everything under and folding things over and lining things up. And there's barely enough room to lift the blankets in there. And then the other thing is, which I don't know if this is normal or not, but Andrew and I have our own covers. We don't share because we end up tugging and pulling off of each other. So we have our own set of pretty much everything. We have our own sheet. We have our own covers. So if I were to make the bed, I'd make like the half of the bed, and then I have to make his half of the bed. And it's like making the bed twice. It just doesn't make sense to me. But for some people, yeah, you feel better when you see it and it's done. And we don't ever see our bedroom except when we're in the bedroom, because once we're out of the bedroom for the day, we shut the door to the bedroom for the moment. We, not lock shut, but it's just we pull it shut, and then I don't see the bedroom until I'm ready for bed again. An unmade bed just looks messy. It does. It does look messy, and it is messy, but I don't see my bedroom. It's in the corner of the house. I don't ever go in there until it's bedtime again. And I actually do make my bed. See? Some people do. Some people do. Some people don't. Suzanne says, I'll tidy up a bed, especially if a workman is coming over. If somebody is like, if we have cat sitters or people coming into the house, then yes, we'll do the bed, and put on those appearances. But day to day, it's just something that I don't make time for. And I don't make time for it. And I'm not sorry that I don't make time for it. I guess it's one of those things. Facebook user, not sure who you are, says, I rarely make my bed, just straighten before I get in. Yeah, that's all I do. Straighten it before I get in. Hello, Elise. Thank you for joining us today, hanging out with us. Norma says, making my bed just involves pulling up the duvet, so it's easy. See, that's the thing. That's the smart way to do it. Just have the duvet and just done, right? Elise says, I'm new here and also new to YouTube. Is this a jewelry bead show? A lot of times it is, Elise. Today, the title of this is Let's Chat. And whenever you see a Let's Chat video from us at Allegory Gallery, it's just this. We hang out with our community and we talk about things that are on our minds. And it's just a way to get to know each other and connect with each other. It's not about selling things. It's not about, showing things. But most of the time, we do these shows about 5 days a week. Tuesday is usually a tutorial day. So we do a tutorial or a demonstration most Tuesdays. And then Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, most of the time, unless it's a Let's Chat, most of the time we show you new things we have in store, or we show you things from the online store, or different beads and charms and findings and all that. But today, we're just chatting because we feel at Allegory Gallery, hanging out with our people, our community, is, very, very important. It's one of the things that we founded our store on, was creating community. And the only way you can really create community is when you get to know your people and get to know everybody and hang out with them and spend time with them. So that's what we're doing. Hopefully you're still here. I don't know how far away I am from the end of the comments. Amanda says, I'm definitely a hobbit. I like living a simple life and eating several meals a day, right? That's good. That's good. Sandra says, I still work at home, but just have a feeling it's going to be painful for the pinched nerve issue. Yeah, that's hard. That's not good. But even still, you still have to probably have to check in at a certain time, even when you work from home, right? It's just, it's different, right? It's different. Elise says, oh, okay, I like that. A good chat too. Yeah, it's good, right? You gotta hang out with people. Cindy's back. Hello, Cindy. Susan says, NYC is mostly safe. Well, maybe not in South Bronx, but it's safer than my own city. Yeah, New York City, for all the crime people think about there, I always felt pretty safe, thankfully. Marion says, we did gemstones on Monday. Yeah, I showed new gemstones on Monday. If you missed that, check out our live tab on YouTube and check out those. Missed yesterday, which is usually a demo day. Yes, Andrew was not able to. Andrew, my partner, husband, he usually does Tuesday tutorials, but he is taking a class on blacksmithing in Johnstown, Pennsylvania this week. So he did not do his Tuesday tutorial day. But welcome to the channel, Elise. Please, if you like what we're doing, hit subscribe and hang out with us more often. Amanda says, my stature is hobbit. Like, oh my goodness. Susan says, hello to Barnaby, right? Marianne says, you are welcome to the AG Bead family. Yeah, hang out with us. Oh, Amanda's leaving us on chauffeur duty. See ya. Have fun. Lorraine is with us. Hello, Lorraine. Hello, Bonnie. People tuning in now, right? Those says no Big Macs after a fast, I guess. No Big Macs for me at all because I don't eat meat. But an Impossible Whopper, probably shouldn't dive into that right after your fast. Save it for the next day, maybe at least, right? Elise says, thanks so much, Marianne. Seems like a friendly group. We are. Marianne says, we almost never bite, right? Susan says, I also fold clothes too. I hate seeing bags of laundry sit around. That is one thing I wish I were better at. We put our laundry in the laundry baskets, and then sometimes it gets folded, and sometimes it does not. So I do like seeing the laundry because we have so much of it. Things we don't even wear anymore or can't wear anymore, and we still have it. So I do like that to look nice, but that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Susan says, separate covers make so much sense. Yeah, we got so tired of pulling each other's cover and one of us freezing or too hot or whatever. We just have separate covers. Separate covers on the bed makes it easy. Lena says, I wish Poopy would let me have my own covers. I said we could both have twin size top and duvet. I got vetoed. That was an easy decision for both of us. Pull his covers off of him every night should become an easier decision. Yeah, because Andrew said every night I pulled the covers off of him, but I said every night he pulled them off of me. So we just ended up with separate covers, and it works out magically, wonderfully. It's like you're like sleeping in your own bed, but you're not in your own bed. But it's so nice because you can take the cover off, you can put the cover on. You don't have to worry about am I taking too much? I'd wake up in the middle of the night and be like, am I taking too much of the cover? I have to look over. Does he still have cover? Done. We got our own. Easy, easy. Elise says, yes, I'm still here. Nice. Thanks for the info. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. I'm William. I'm William. I usually have the thing down here, but I'm showing things, so I don't have it down there. But I'm William. My husband is Andrew. We have a store called Allegory Gallery together. It's a bead store in Ligonier, Pennsylvania. So we have a physical store if you're ever in Western Pennsylvania and want to come check us out. But we also do a lot online. So welcome to the AG Bead fam. Where are you tuning in from, Elise? Let us know. We got a lot of people from all over the world. So I say Western Pennsylvania. If you don't know, Pennsylvania is a state in the United States. Some people from other countries don't know. I learned that. Just like I don't know all the places in other countries. Bonnie says, I spent the day with my 84-year-old mother cleaning her river place and getting it ready to sell. While doing this, some people stopped by and offered her cash on the spot to purchase the place. She started to cry. It was such a hard day. That is hard, right? That's really hard. Parting with something like that is not easy. It's not easy. But hopefully it's a good thing. Hopefully can get decent money out of it, what it's worth, right? Suzanne says, I fold clothes mostly. I do fold some. I have learned putting them on hangers and hanging them. We have when we bought our house, there was already in the basement clotheslines in the basement. So we just fill up those clotheslines with hangers of clean clothes. It is so much nicer than folding. So much nicer. I spent so many years in clothing retail that I can fold a shirt or fold pant like nobody's business, but I hate doing it because I did it for years and years and years. So hanging is better. Oh, let's see here. Lettuce is 100%. If he traps me with the sheets, I wake him up every time all night. Who would want that? Just get separate covers. Why deal with that? Don't get crazy. Don't get crazy. Just get separate covers. I think more people do it than let on because everyone's like, oh no, I can't say that. Just like, can't say and don't make my bed. I don't make my bed and we have separate covers. And it doesn't mean there's a problem in our relationship. It doesn't mean like some people sleep in their own bedrooms too. That doesn't mean there's a problem in your relationship. Sometimes that's better, right? Sometimes that's just better for people. It just works out better and that's okay. Everybody's different. Suzanne says, New Orleans is having severe crime problems. That's not good. That's not good to hear. Oops. Bonnie says, you are just like my boys. They don't even use a top sheet. We have sheets. We do the sheets. Sometimes we share the sheet. But sometimes the sheet just gets ruffled so much that we're just like, I keep putting it on at night because I don't make the bed, but I organize the bed before I go to sleep, right? So I get tired of doing that sheet over and over again. So a lot of times, honestly, I don't use a sheet. I let Andrew have the sheet. I don't use a sheet. I just put a cover on. It's pretty much like a duvet, right? I'm pretty much doing that, but with a cover. That's all. Susan says the cover wars, right? Right? Marianne says, so you need to purge your clothing. Yes, I do. I need to purge my clothing. But sometimes when I try to purge my clothing, it gets co-opted into someone else's zone for fabric. I'll just say that. I tried to donate and throw out a bunch of jeans, and they are still in the closet because we might use the fabric. And that's fine, because he probably will use the fabric someday. I wouldn't. For me, I just get rid of it. But if he's going to use it, that's fine. But sometimes it is hard to get rid of things like that because, you know, when you are an artist, sometimes you need the materials. And when the materials are already there, why buy more, right? Suzanne says, I see declutter in your future, William. I'd like to, but I'm not good at that. I like to be organized. I shouldn't say I'm cluttered. But I like stuff around. I like my stuff. It's hard. My mom hangs clothes outside any chance she gets. It forces me to fold the clothes when I take them down because they are all nice and straight from being windblown. Yeah, I think about that. I think I should put up a line of clothes or a clothesline out in our backyard, but we don't. Maybe someday I will. My aunt's heading out. I'm glad you joined too. It was good to hang out. Get to see you this way at least. So have a good day. Good to see you, Aunt Ethel. Lisa's from Seattle. Nice. We have some people that tune in from Seattle sometimes. Hopefully you can make real friends in person. We do that a lot. People hang out with us. We always ask where you're from, and you never know. You might make friends that you can hang out with in person. Sometimes fun. It's fun to make jewelry and bead and chat with people in person too. That's why we have a store still. That's why we're trying to keep the store alive. A lot of bead stores are going under. We're trying to keep ours going because it is fun to hang out with people in a real way. Lorraine has to go. See you, Lorraine. I think that's time. We've been going for an hour and a half. I think it's time to call it a day. Marianne has a cousin I think. Niece in Seattle. Elise knows someone in Canada, but in Nova Scotia. See, y'all already have things in common. Bonnie says jeans are great for projects, also flannel. Yes, right. Marianne says, how much fabric does Andrew actually use? It's not about how much you use. It's about how much you might use, right? And I don't say that in any snarky way. It's true, because Andrew uses the stuff he has. Sometimes I see things sitting in boxes, and then someday I find out why. So I have no problem with the jeans still being here, like for example, or things that we keep. But I like them at least to be in a closet. We did move them to the closet so you can close the closet. We don't use our closets for much other than storage, y'all. The bedroom closet does not hold our clothing. It usually holds like suits. Like if we have to dress up, those go into the closet. Otherwise, it's storage. Closets are for storage. They're not for actual things. I don't know if that happens to anyone else either. Suzanne says, took me a bit over a year to totally declutter. Now I have so much more space. I know, it would be nice. It would be nice. I have a hard time letting go of stuff. I get emotionally attached, or I think, what if I need this paperwork for the business? What if I need this for then? What if I need this for that? I have papers from when we started the business in 2011. They've moved to the garage at least. They move out of the house. Bonnie says, I wish I could have a clothesline. I know, it's so nice, right? Marianne says, welcome to Ethel as well. Yeah, I don't get to see my aunt very often. Marianne's phone's dying soon. Yep. Bonnie says, my entire basement is storage. Our basement is partial storage, mostly laundry. That's where the laundry is down there. Andrew has a kiln down there that we have not used in a while, but that's probably going to be my pottery kiln for making little dishes. We have tables that Andrew does his paper making on down there. So our basement is a mishmash of stuff. Marion says, Lisa's fabric is stored. Yes, it's stored away, right? Marion says 7 years. I know they say 7 years. I know, but then I have to go through and see what dates are on all the paper. It's hard, y'all. I'm starting to try and take pictures of everything. So I have pictures of receipts and pictures of things, and then I can throw stuff out. It's so freeing. Susan says we can't legally have a clothesline here. That's sad. That's no good. Bonnie says, I can't wait to see your pottery. I can't wait to see it either. Andrew and I were talking about that the other night, though. We're going to try to... We were talking about some things, and y'all are buying up his paintings like crazy, and thank you for that. So we're trying to think of things that we can do that don't take so much of our time, but that we can charge a smaller amount on and easily produce and make stuff to sell. So I was talking about enameling, and Andrew's like, how about you make some pottery? Because you could pump some of that out quick once you get used to doing it and get, kind of get good at it. And he's like, if you set up the pottery thing, I'm going to use it too. So we're talking about converting our dining room. Here we're getting into another subject when I said we're going to stop. But y'all, we don't use our dining room. Let's face it. Our dining room is a work area already. We use our dining room if we have family or friends over for an occasion, like a holiday, and we have food. Otherwise, Andrew and I usually eat on the couch in front of the TV. That's our time that we actually take from work to watch TV, is when we're eating. So we usually do that on the couch. I know some people are probably thinking that's crazy, but so our dining room is used for working already. So we're talking about moving the dining room table out and making it another work zone in the house, maybe like a hangout / work zone. And I think I talked about this maybe a little bit, but it's evolving. I wanted it just to be kind of like a second living room. And it kind of makes sense because our living room is where Andrew's doing his paintings. But I want it to be a second hangout space so that if one of us are watching TV or working on something, there's another place to go to have a space that we're not interrupting each other doing things. So I think we're going to maybe move our dining room table out. I don't know. We kind of need a table maybe, but it takes up space, and we're getting older. It's a high seated table, and it's hard to sit at nowadays. So that may go to the cottage to use as another working table there or something like that. And we may put in like a lower table or a regular size table, or maybe no table. We'll just make zones to work at with a couch and maybe a chair or to sit at or something like that. So that's where the pottery may go. It may go right there in the dining room area, and I'll be able to work on it there. Bonnie says, I would love some pots for my succulents. They're coming. I'm going to get it going. I need to get it going. Marion says, strange rules, Susan. Wind, sun, dry clothes smell so good. Susan says, I know some fancy pants don't think clotheslines lower property values. That's crazy. My mom says, wow, that's sad. It is sad. Love the smell of fresh line dried sheets, right? Suzanne says, getting rid of the guest bedroom was a great thing for us. Ray has his music room now. Yeah, we have the guest room. We barely use it. But it's nice kind of for us to have one because I've never had a guest room. It's so fancy. But it's also carpeted. And Andrew had his studio in there for a while, and it was okay. But with a carpeted room, it's hard to do pottery or working like that in there. And it's on the second floor. So our dining room already has the linoleum down. It's an old house, linoleum down, and we can work in there and wipe up pottery clay and mud and all that, whatever. And but yeah, the guest room is kind of also in our house a space that is unnecessary, but we don't have that many guests very often. But maybe that'll turn into something someday. But we just bought the furniture and turned it into a guest room, so we can't do anything with it yet. But that's good that he has his music room. I think it's good. Like, I have my office here. Andrew has mostly the studio. That's mostly his space. So, it's mostly his space. But I go there sometimes and do some stuff. But this is my one little room in here. And even though it gets co-opted sometimes for lives and stuff like that, but at least it's a place. Marion says a good clothesline would probably be a selling point here, right? It just changes your mood, right? Suzanne says, any overnight guest freaks Cinnamon out. She doesn't eat or use her box. I can't have that. Yeah, it's hard. Like, our cats are generally okay with guests for a while, but we also keep their box very close. Like, they sleep upstairs with us, and the box is right across the hallway. It's by our bathroom. Their bathroom is in a room by our bathroom. They have an actual room for their bathroom. It used to be an old, tiny little sewing room. I hear it used to be part of the bathroom, and then they made the bathroom smaller at one point, and made it a sewing room. It's just a little tiny room. And so that's the cat's bathroom now. So at least they have that. But they get a little skittish, especially Gilbert, when people come over. All right, y'all. It's been an hour and a half, over an hour and a half, and we've been chatting. I've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you've enjoyed it too. But I'm going to go. I got some other things to finish up here today, and then I have to decide if I'm going to eat tonight. I'm starting to get a little hungry after our talking and after doing the live. This takes a lot of energy, and so I might take a nap or eat or both. I don't know. But thank you all for tuning in. Have a wonderful, wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever it is in your neck of the woods. Thank you for tuning in with us. Please hit the like, the thumbs up. Please hit the subscribe if you're out there on YouTube. We really appreciate subscriptions. And please hit the share and let your friends know they might like us too. All right. Have a great one, everyone. And we'll be back here tomorrow. Bye now, everybody.